take for delay of 1 or 2 minutes. I'll come up here.
To live near.
I'll come here first. Then the button will highlight. Okay, got it. It's not going. It's fine now.
Hello, friends. A very good afternoon, a very good evening to all of you. I would like to welcome you all in my Friday evening session, Rise with Raman. We broadcast this session on all our channels, and today, we are experimenting on Instagram as well. So, I would love to get some feedback from those friends who are actually live with us on Instagram in terms of the sound quality as well as the picture quality. So I would appreciate some feedback from all the viewers. So thank you very much for joining. Every Friday we bring this session with a lot of information, knowledge about the real estate industry from different markets all across Ontario, Alberta, British Columbia, Windsor. So my idea of starting this session on Friday is there are a lot of people because of the price difference, because of their job requirements, or a lot of investors. They want to explore the opportunities in the new market. So you need some guidance, you need some information, you need some trustworthy team who is there in every single market to take care of you. Let's say you are living in Brampton and you want to buy a house in Windsor. So you need somebody who can meet you in Brampton and can take care of your property in Windsor. Similarly, a lot of people from Ontario, from British Columbia, they are investing in Alberta, especially like Calgary and Edmonton. So you need somebody who can take care of your real estate needs at both the places, not only within the country, not only within Canada. We provide you the services in India as well as in Dubai. And recently, our team has visited US as well. And very soon, we will be sharing some good news where you will be able to deal with Team SafeMax, your trusted name all across the country, in Dubai, in India, as well as in US. And I'm pretty sure this connection which we are creating between inter countries is going to help a lot of investors, a lot of people who actually have faith and trust in the real estate market, and they believe that investing in real estate market can give them some good results. So thank you very much, guys, for joining for this session, and I would love to get some feedback from you as well. Like, how is that information which we are providing you? Is it helping you? And I always tell people, real estate is one of the biggest decision. This is the biggest purchase of your life. Of course, it's not an easy call, and you will always need a trusted advisor who can guide you, who can support you, who can help you, and who can deal on that particular transaction as they are dealing it for themselves. Now, when it comes to real estate as a profession, uh, I encourage a lot of youngsters to join real estate as a career of their first choice. Fortunately, unfortunately, the way we entered into real estate, it was just a matter of chance, and it was not a career, or it was not the first option which we adopted. But as I as I experienced more and more in the real estate industry, I realized this is a wonderful profession, especially in Canada. So, uh, if you are youngster, if you are a new immigrant, if you just passed out from university, I would strongly recommend you to consider real estate as a full-time profession for you. I can see Meena Tetiji. Meena ji, very, very good afternoon, good evening to you. Thank you very much for your wonderful comments. I really, really appreciate. So, guys, in the past few sessions, I brought SaveMax team members from BC, from Alberta, and from different markets within Ontario. And today I'm going to introduce one of an amazing person, a youngsters, a youngster and a great team leader. Uh, I admire him for his passion for real estate, not only for real estate, but building up the team, supporting another youngsters and bringing a lot of people on board. You will be very happy. You will see, like, his energy level is second to none, and his knowledge about the real estate industry is really really great. So without taking too much time, let me bring on board Aditya Kumar Soma. Aditya, how are you today? Aditya, looks like you're mute. uh, all right, let me. Why can't I hear you? Can you speak? Can you say something now, Aditya? Okay. I think there is something wrong with your sound quality. Let me just try one more time. Aditya, can you log in and log out? Log out once and log in again. In the meanwhile, Aditya, no, I'm not able to hear you. Let me see now. Can you say something? I think you can hear me, but I can't hear you. I can't hear you. No. Let him join again. Anyway, in the meanwhile, Aditya comes back. How is everything going at your end? I'm pretty sure you all might be having some good time. And we are conducting a lot of events. Either it's first time home buyer. Yes, Aditya. No, I can't hear you. See, that is the beauty of technology. Sometimes it really gives a hard time. Uh, I see everything is good from my side. Let me just hold on a second. Hold on a second. Maybe there is something wrong on my side. Okay, audio output, Jibra. Huh? It's from his end. Can you say something, Aditya, now? No, I can't hear you, my friend. All right. Okay. Anyway, guys, my apologies. Technology has its own beauty. Sometimes, technology is an amazing tool, but when it's stuck up, then it stucks up. So now, I would strongly encourage you, request you, if you have any questions related to real estate. Today, we are going to talk especially about the Windsor market. If we look at the real estate all across the GTA, the way things are happening, especially with some latest announcement by Canadian government and by Bank of Canada, we will discuss about those announcements as well, and we will talk about how those changes are going to make an impact on Canadian real estate market, especially when we talk about the amortization has been changed from 25 to 30 years. Even if you're making less than 20% down payment, that is something very good. That is definitely going to help a lot many people to qualify for a higher amount of mortgage. Now, the second change, which is very positive, and all these change will be implemented from December the 15th. The second one is like for the insured mortgages. Earlier, the limit was up to $1 million. So if you are buying something for $1 million and above, you had to make 20% down payment. But now that limit has been increased by a significant amount. From 1 million, the limit has gone up to 1.5 million, which is something very amazing, and it is definitely going to help a lot of people to buy the house of their choice, or I would say uh, buy some bigger properties. So let's see, Aditya has joined back. Let's see. Hi, Aditya.
Hey Raman, how are you?
Fantastic. There you go. I can hear your sweet, fantastic voice.
Browser setting issues.
Okay, okay. That's great. That's great. So, Aditya, first of all, thank you very much for joining. Ever charming, always a smile and full of energy. I really love your videos on social media. So,
Thank you, Raman.
good. And I think there are a lot of youngsters who are taking inspiration from you, and you are helping a lot of team members to teach them to help them to become successful in real estate. And I think this is what is the real beauty, what I like about you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Of course, with the help of the guru.
No, no. Listen, this is something very interesting. We all learn from each other. So at some point of time, I consider you as my mentor, and of course, it will be my honor and privilege if I can share some of my knowledge and learning with you.
For
And
sure.
you and Mamta, I admire you for your positivity. I admire you for your zeal to grow. Every time you push me hard, like Raman, I want to learn this. I want to do the stuff on that, and that really like makes me keeps me on the toes. That's important.
Glad to hear. Thank you.
So Aditya, lot of our viewers they know who Aditya Soma is, but some of them might not know about you. So why don't we start with your introduction?
Sure. So, namaskar, everyone. Hope you guys all having a wonderful evening. So, first of all, Ramanji, thank you so much for the opportunity to speak about Windsor, which I feel like I'm a brand ambassador of Windsor. I talk a lot about Windsor. So, coming to me, I'm like just many of the people who are following immigrant story, typical immigrant story. Came as a student. I've worked, ass off in different industries, as a laborer, and then, got into software. And then I would call destiny got me to Windsor. And
Mhm.
the pain of having a financial freedom got me into real estate.
Hmm.
So I started investing in 2017, and during that process, again, pain of creating more income streams got me into sales. So now it's been 5.5 years being as a realtor, now broker owner of Save Max Win City here in Windsor, Ontario. As a team, we are now 25 individuals together working for the same vision, helping other immigrant families like us, who wants to achieve financial freedom through real estate.
Fantastic, fantastic. And Aditya, you mentioned something called financial freedom through real estate. I'm a great admirer of real estate and especially Canadian real estate, because of course, real estate all across the world is something which I should say is very fascinating. And if we even look at the stats, like 95% of the millionaires or billionaires, they use real estate as a tool for them to be successful and make all that wealth which they have created. And especially a lot of first generation millionaires and billionaires used real estate as an amazing tool. And I personally believe, uh, if you just have a little common sense, some right guidance, and a little, I would say, risk taking ability with some long term vision, you can never ever lose money in real estate. Of
100%.
course, if you have short term vision, if you just work like a speculator, not like as an investor, then there's some chances that you might lose money. But otherwise, as a long term perspective, nobody never lost money in real estate.
Yeah. One of the proven industry where money never got lost, because so many things goes into it. If you look at
Yeah,
anyone who has been investing from 100 years, 200 years, no one
yeah.
ever lost money who kept it for longer enough.
Longer time, absolutely. And one time, Aditya, I was actually doing a session in Seneca College, and I made a statement that real estate is the only way to become millionaire. And when I say that, and this is the fact, real estate is the only way to become a sure short millionaire.
Yeah.
All other ways, there is a lot of risk involved into it, and the success rate is 10%. Either we talk about stock market, we talk about uh, you know building up the business empire, or any other means, buying the gold, buying the commodities and all that stuff. But real estate is a sure short way to become millionaire if you just have a little patience of 3 to 5 years, or for a little bit longer perspective, I would say.
100%.
And I'm so happy that you agree with me on that.
Now I have seen that, personally it happened to me. So, a lot of us don't believe it until we see it, right?
Absolutely. And this
Because
is this is actually a fact, that until you don't see it, it becomes a little bit challenging to believe it. So, guys, may I request all the viewers? I'm pretty sure you all love the energy and the charm which Aditya is sharing with us. So let's give him a warm welcome. And if you have any questions, I'll be very happy to share my insight and take Aditya's opinion onto that. So, Aditya, let's talk about Windsor. I was
sure.
watching a couple of videos about Windsor, and I know people talk about the unemployment rate over there. People talk about Windsor is not the market to get the growth, especially as far as the real estate is concerned. Now, the reason behind that is people don't have the stats, people don't have the experience.
Yeah.
They just talk without having the, I would say, the proper knowledge about it,
Yeah.
right? So you have been in Windsor market from almost like 5 to 6 years, and you have sold hundreds of properties over there, helped thousands of clients for buying their first house, making their first investment, and then expanding their portfolio. So, what's your take about Windsor?
So, on top of it, personally, I invested every penny I made so far into real estate, 80% of it into Windsor,
Oh
because
wow!
I so much believe in Windsor market and it given the results, right? Like, people who haven't seen the Windsor market or who only just see online here and there some comments, probably they might not be able to get full picture of the Windsor. But if you really dig into it, you will understand. And if you come down, check out the Windsor area, you will see a difference that we're gonna soon talk about. Of course, I'll get into the numbers and all, but you know, yes, I agree. The first biggest uh, negative that people see is like, oh, the stats Canada just announced that the Windsor is one of the highest unemployment rated city in Canada with 9.2%. But that being said, there was reasons for that because all of a sudden Windsor did not expect the amount of population growth that happened in recent times. Whatever the population growth happened in from 2001 to 2020, the amount was like almost 35,000 total, and the
Wow!
growth happened from 2022
But
and 3.
Aditya, sorry to interrupt you. I see that unemployment as an opportunity over there.
Yeah,
Why don't we think of becoming self-employed? Why don't we become the investor?
yeah,
Right?
and
Maybe people are making a lot of money through other means over there, like investments in real estate and doing the flip and all that stuff.
Oh, 100%. And that's what actually a lot of Windsorites seeing it now because, recent times, a lot of self-employment, like as simple as grocery stores, restaurants, insurance companies, mortgage brokerages, real estate brokerages. A lot of self-employment actually started to grow a lot. And even retirees, like, a lot of people moving from Toronto who made well off in GTA with their one or two properties. And now they just want a peace of mind. They just don't want to have that financial strain. They
Yeah.
just sold their home and bought a half the price, bought the similar home,
Yes, yes.
and still have that half the money for the rest of their retirement.
Yeah. So Aditya, uh, I want to understand from your experience, because there are a lot of first time home buyers or first time investors.
Mhm.
They are always scared, and I'm pretty sure you had the same feeling when you were buying your first house, when you were buying your first investment,
Yeah.
right? So how was your experience buying your first house and buying your first investment?
So
Dharmakatha.
yeah, so I started to look for my first property in 2016 September, and I
Hmm.
got it in 2017 March. So it took me 6 months,
Hmm.
and at that time the prices in Windsor was like 100,000, 200,000.
Oh, really?
Still, it took me 6 months.
Wow.
You know why? Because one, I didn't know anyone in real
Hmm.
estate. I didn't
Hmm.
had my family here, and
Right.
I was starting with very little money, right? Like I was a first time home buyer. I was working in IT and had a very very little savings, and didn't know if I'm doing the right thing because at that price point the properties I'm going to get is like very less, like the
Yeah.
inventory is very less at that price point that I'm able to afford. So obviously a lot of fears in mind.
Hmm.
So that's why it took me 6 months, but again at the end with the help, like you said, my first realtor who helped me, she became my mentor over the period for years to come.
Wow, that's great. And guys, I can understand. I have dealt with thousands of first-time home buyer, first-time investors, and I always tell people, whenever you are buying your first house, by making your first investment, you're gonna have two feelings. The first feeling you're gonna have, you have an excitement. Second feeling you're gonna have is a fear,
Yeah.
right? So it's a beautiful combination of both. And if you get a right person who can guide you in the right direction, then the feeling of fear can be negligible, right? And the
Yeah.
feeling of excitement can be at the maximum, right? So Aditya, I know there are a lot of things which I want to ask you today, but we have to be watchful about the time as well. So why don't we move on to the presentation and know more about Windsor?
Sure, 100%.
Fantastic. So give me 1 second. And all right. So you can see that, Aditya, on the screen.
Yep,
Fantastic. So I will be your assistant today. So please guide me whenever you want me to move the slides, and I would
sure,
give the lead to you. Let's talk about Windsor real estate market.
sure. So yeah, let's maybe slide to the next, go into the next slides.
So that's about your journey. I love
Yeah,
it.
so I just covered on that. Again, one thing I can add on is like I talk a lot about Windsor and my journey on my YouTube channel and Instagram. So if
Right.
someone wants to dig more into Windsor market, more into what kind of opportunities available here, I would strongly recommend check my Instagram channel. It's with my same full name, Aditya Kumar Soma. So again, this is something probably one of the common question I get asked for first time home buyers and investors. How can I find a right realtor? you know just by googling their name, you will see how many ratings and what people are talking about them, how much knowledge they have about the area, how much knowledge they have about the type of properties that you want to buy, the amount of the type of investment you're looking to do. Does the agent or the team that you're going to hire, do they have that expertise? So our team, we've been helping first time home buyers and investors in Windsor area for last 5.5 years. We have helped over 800 families with 200 plus 5-star reviews on Rate My Agent. So that's something, Charles, we really care for the client, because we know how hard it is to earn that down payment, and I personally went through that phase multiple times. So we want to make sure everyone who is planning to move in here or planning to invest here, we want to make sure we provide all the tools, necessary contacts, necessary knowledge about the area, necessary information about the property, to make sure their investment journey is as smooth as possible. So yeah, thank you, Roman. Move on to the next slide. So of course, I'm part of Same Max family, where it's a blessing to have a mentor like you. So definitely, uh, no words to express without in the industry expert has a mentor.
Aditya, I want to make two comments here. First comment is I see a lot of power in these two associations, SaveMax and WinCity, and I know when we decide to collaborate together and when we decide to join hands together, I was very excited about it. And as we are progressing further, like my excitement keeps going high and high and high, because there's so much learning. There is so much. I would say good things to know about SaveMax WinCity team, and I'm really fascinated to see a lot of youngsters over there in the team. So that is the first thing. Second comment I want to make is I'm feeling jealous of you. My wife spent a lot of money on getting me the designer suits and all this stuff, but here you beat me on this day.
Thank you.
I love the outfit and the designer suits which you have done. So great job, keep it up.
Thank you, Roman.
And
Yeah, moving on to the next, like where the real nitty-gritty that people are waiting for. What's the data? What's the Windsor market look like?
yeah,
I'm gonna dig more into what's happening in Windsor, but just let's get what today's market look like. So right now, there is 1,000 plus new listings on the market, and the amount of properties sold less than 500, and the average home price sitting around 587,000. So again, still Windsor is one of the most affordable city, where right now, actually, personally, what we are seeing is right now a great opportunity for first-time homebuyers and first-time investors to get in, because there is a lot of inventory. You can see the sales versus the inventory. It's pretty heavy difference. So there is good amount of properties on the market, so which gives us an opportunity. And from last 1 year, many markets haven't seen that much change, but in Windsor market we still have an appreciation happen, almost like 4%, give or take. So if you look at the September 2023, the average home price were around 561,000. Now it's around 587,000. And just to give a little bit more insights into what type of homes you can get at what price range, Again, this is just an average. And Windsor market do offer, like, if you are with a very low budget, like even if you just have 20,000 and you're looking to buy your first home, you can still find a home for 350, 400,000. A detached home I'm talking about. This
Oh,
is an average price point. An average bungalow is going around like 500,000. An average raised ranch around 635,000. Average ranch around 700,000. Average two-story around 760,000. So these are again wide varieties. And I have some more slides where I show different examples. What could be the first time home, first time investor property, how the numbers look like in the coming slides.
yeah, Aditya, I have a question here on this slide. So number of sales is 463 and number of listings is 1020. So that makes approximately 2.5 months inventory. It's not bad. Like, if you look at the markets like Brampton, Mississauga, the inventory has gone above and beyond 3 months.
Gotcha.
So 2.5 months, it's a decent, I would say it's an balanced market as far as the inventory and the number of sales are concerned, isn't it?
Yeah, so I mean, for Windsor market, it's actually the inventory is little bit more competitive to what we have seen.
Hmm.
So we used to see around the 1,000 listings, but with a 700 on an average sales.
You are talking about those golden days of 2021, 2022.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So for sure, it's a balanced market. Like right
It's
now,
balanced, yes.
but that being said, still, we are seeing a great opportunities for first-time home buyers and the investors, because still comparatively, what we have seen those golden times from 2014 till 2022, the Windsor market, the inventory was always low for all those years, and all of a sudden now for last 2 years, the inventory is there. So for people who've been waiting for that perfect style of home at a very affordable price, they are available now. So
Amazing.
again, these are a little bit more deeper details I don't want to go into, but for those who are like really want to look into more on what's happening and what type of properties available for someone like that. So probably if we can skip. So here is some of the reasons what's happening in Windsor. Why I'm actually very bullish about Windsor market. Coming next 3 to 5 years, Windsor is going to be one of the best city with a high ROI. For
Hmm.
those who are getting in now, I'm very confident. So here's the reasons where the confidence come from. One, the population is growing, and this is from Stats Canada. Like the increase in Windsor population in 19 years 35,000, but in 2 years 41,000, and just this year alone another 31,000. So
Hmm.
the growth is significant, and they're expecting by end of this year the Windsor population will touch over 500,000. So we all know what happens when more people come in. When more people come in, for that demand, we have to have a lot of small businesses, services, goods and services. And on top of it, people need place to live, either rent or own. So the demand is going to go up. And along with the population, if we can move on to the next slide, yes, right now the unemployment rate is high if you look at from a just from a topper view. But if we look at from a little bit more deeper view, Windsor is are getting a lot of new jobs getting created. They're in progress. So one of the thing is the battery plant that is currently under construction, who have already hired 300 plus employees, and who is going to hire mid of next year another 2,200 people, because their target is to have almost 2,500 employees. And then bridge construction, the international bridge that we already have existing bridge and a tunnel. Now they are building another bridge. And Windsor Mega Hospital, this is like third largest mega hospital going to be in Windsor now in Ontario, third largest one. That is haven't started construction, and the construction going to start in 2026.
Okay.
And just the facility itself is 1.3 million square feet. Imagine the amount of the trades that required to get that built. And
Hmm.
once it is built, the amount of you know people need to move into that hospital, like doctors, nurses, all the facilities, helpers, to maintain the facility. So all those things. And rail logistic hub is building a train between Detroit and Windsor, because one of the busiest border of US Canada is Windsor border.
Yeah.
And various supply chains for the electric vehicle, related supplies, because Windsor is automotive city, and now with the battery plant getting built, and a lot of supply chain need to be built, and transportation for that, because a lot of trucking, the import and export goods happens. And on top of it, the Ford recently announced 3 billion investment in on Oakville assembly plant, but that assembly plant is going to take the engines that are getting built in Windsor. So right now, the Windsor Annex Ford battery making plant, what they built is right now like they only build the small engines, but now they are going to build 6.8 and 7.3 liter engine that going to be again transported to Oakville plant. So now this will increase the amount of employees in the current Windsor plant to build that bigger engines, and plus the supply, the transportation between these two plants going to increase the flow. And of course, there is a lot of new constructions, including that mega hospital, including the bridge, a lot of residential side, a lot of multifamily side, the constructions going on. So obviously when the construction is going on, a lot of trades goes into it. So these are the industries, like right now jobs are getting created. And another thing that many people actually oversee, Windsor, Windsorites not only just work in Windsor, Windsorites actually work in Detroit, a lot of them, because Detroit is also one of the biggest city in US. And that was kind of, under the water until 2020-21. But from last 3-4 years, it started to grow in the automotive industry area, in the health sector, in the mechanical, electrical, and IT sector as well. So a lot of Canadians who are Canadians, they work full time in Detroit area. They make good dollars, and they live here. So that's another huge advantage.
Yeah, so Aditya, that answers the question which Amanda is asking. She's asking, like, does Windsor have a lot of people working across the border in the US? Is there any kind of data or number which we can share with the viewers?
So I tried to do some more research on that one. As of now, we don't have like a clear stats. So definitely, as soon as I find something, I will make another video for sure. As
Fantastic.
of now, like what I found is on the Detroit, the bridge has a tracking. They track how many vehicles goes, right. So it's they're based on their data. It's like 17,000 vehicles. The four wheelers go from excluding the truckers, goes
Mhm.
from Windsor to Detroit like day to day basis.
Wow,
17,000 plus.
that's a pretty decent number.
Yeah. And on top of it, like you were mentioning earlier, one of the reason people definitely don't lose money is keeping the property for long term.
Yeah,
So for as an investor, what would help them to keep it long term? The answer is cash flow. Like personally, I have bought properties even in 2022. I have a lot of clients who bought in 2022 as well, but now they're not really worried or really crazy going beating up themselves because they have properties making cash flow. So if you
yeah,
have a property that is making cash flow, you don't have to worry what happens to the market in the short term basis, because you have rent coming in and the rent is covering all your expenses. You're in a positive cash flow. So that is still possible in Windsor. So Windsor still have affordable homes that for that is one of the most attractive point, along with whatever the growth happening. Forget, like, let's assume that no growth happened, but you just want to hold a property for next 10 years. We all know that you will be making money because your tenants will pay down your mortgage.
yeah.
But if you have to put money every month in your from your pocket, then it's really challenging. It gets challenging if something happens to your income or anything. So that's where again Windsor offers one of the best possibility.
Fantastic.
So again, the affordable price that I was just mentioning and growth point of view also. In 2019, the average home price in Windsor was 240,000, and now close to 600,000.
Wow.
Imagine the amount of returns that investors or first time homebuyers who got in before 2019, their returns today, because it's same like in Brampton, what used to be the average home price 20 years ago,
Yeah.
what was the average home price 10 years ago.
Yeah, I would say like 20 years ago when I started my real estate career, the average price was around 300,000.
Yeah, so what's the average
And
price
the
now?
same house is around 1.2, 1.3 million today.
So for first time home buyers, can they get into this 1.2, 1.3?
No, no, no.
This is where Windsor offers, right? Like, for those who
Yeah.
have work from home option, they can, instead of waiting for another 2 3 years to save up all the money. I understand, a lot of people wants to stay in GTA,
Yeah.
but if they're not in a position to, maybe leverage now, take advantage of the affordable home price right now with the growth potential. Maybe first get a smaller investment property, let keep renting where you are, or if you can move in, reduce your cost of living, because GTA now you cannot get anyways, you cannot get in there for someone starter, especially starter ones. For those who have deeper pockets, probably GTA is the best place to invest. But that being said, with the affordable price, it's still there. Still, a family with less than 150,000 income, they can still qualify for a nice, very decent home in a decent neighborhood, or a nice cash flowing property in a decent neighborhood.
Yep.
So I just put some projects together to just give an idea how the numbers look like. So this is one of the property that we have listed for 400,000, and for a first-time home buyer, all they need is 20,000 down. With a 25 years amortization, their monthly mortgage payment is around $2,000. With another property tax, insurance, all together another $800-900, you're still under $3,000. And it comes in like a very very good location, nice beautiful 3 bedroom 1.5 bathroom with a garage. So again, starter homes are still available.
Yeah, that's not bad. And Aditya, as you know, and a lot of viewers might not know about it, that now they will be having 30-year amortization after the December 15th, and even the limit for the insured mortgage has gone from 1 million to 1.5 million. That
Yep.
definitely is going to give a lot of push to first-time home buyers, or the millennials who wants to enter into the real estate market. So that's
Yep.
really.
But those who are like, okay, I cannot really, still that 2,500 is still little higher for me monthly expenses. For them, we call a house hack, a duplex. That's how I started. Live in one unit, rent out the other unit.
Yeah.
So those kind of properties around 500,000, that you can live in one unit, rent out the other unit, you will be still, um, paying half of your expenses. Or if you're buying it as a complete investment property, you have a potential for $1,000 plus cash flow with
Yeah.
20% down, 30 years amortization. Because again, uh, options, just to put some food for thoughts for someone who is kind of on the sidelines thinking whether to jump in or not. There are different ideas that you can implement on. So this is one of those ideas that I personally started with.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good idea, and I can see there's a positive cash flow of almost like $1,150. So you are living in their house, you are renting it out, and you are building up the equity. So it's
Yep,
like killing two birds with one stone.
exactly.
Yeah, perfect.
And
Oh,
same way, 3 units instead of 2 units. Maybe again, especially first-time home buyers, they don't understand, unless if you understand the leverage that you have, the advantage. One of the biggest way to make money in real estate is the leverage.
yeah,
You as a first-time home buyer, you have an option to buy for little money. 500,000, let it be 700,000. Your down payment is less than 40 50,000.
yeah,
So you use that money and buy a property with the multiple units. So this is like 3 legal units, completely renovated in one of the nice neighborhoods in Windsor, East Windsor, with a rent potential for more than $5,000.
mm, yeah,
So if you're an investor, it will positive cash flow. But if you're a first-time home buyer, maybe live in one unit, rent out the other units, probably less than $1,000 from your pocket every month. So different options. Again, another one, a 4 unit property with 10 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, with a cash flow of $1,700. more food for thoughts. And
Yeah.
someone who is completely an investor, I just want a nice investment property. You were just saying that in Brampton the average home price right now is 1.2, 1.3. Here
Yeah.
we have listed this home for 1.2, where you can get a 7 legal unit building. Out of those 7, 5 completely renovated, and where still the other 2 units you can potential to increase the rents. But with the current rents you're making like $9,300, and the risk, if one tenant move out, your risk is still very low. You don't have to pay for all the expenses. It will make $2,000 cash flow. That means even if you have 1 unit vacant every month, you're still not paying any money from your pocket, and that to nicely updated property.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, so, and for those who are like, maybe I'm completely first time, homeowner. I just want a like beautiful home, brand new. I don't want to hustle with any expense. We have that too. Like for 700,000 home, you get a brand new 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom, double car garage in a very nice location for 700,000. If you spend another 20, 30,000, there is a grid entrance and there is already roughed in done. You just need to, finish the basement and rent out for another 18, $1,900. Bring your even cost down.
Yeah.
So
Fan-
that's some of the, just again, I wanted to give some decent idea on what Windsor can offer. So I tried to put all together. Of course, there is a lot of information that we cannot cover in this one live session. So anyone wants to talk more, get to know about Windsor, just to see if it's something you want to explore, then just DM us, or send us a text on Instagram. I'm more than happy to jump on a one-on-one call and discuss further.
Fantastic. Aditya, I really, really appreciate it, and I think it was very informative. See, this is how I am enjoying this, because it is so much learning for me to know about different markets, to know about how the sales going on over there, what are the advantages and disadvantages, and how the business is growing in those areas. So it's really good to know, and thank you very much for putting up such a wonderful presentation. Aditya, I have some questions here. I can see a question. When did you decide to leave your job and get into full-time real estate? Tell us about the moment when it triggered you to take this as a full-time career. And I know there are a lot of viewers who actually are in the dilemma, like that either I should leave my job, I should adopt real estate as a profession, should I do it part-time, should I do it
Yeah,
full-time, and especially in today's market. So with
sure.
your experience, a lot of people, a lot of youngsters will get an idea, and will get some courage to make that call to
Sure.
jump on this side.
So I quit my job on the day I got my license. I gave my
One.
resignation on the day I got my license. A lot of people ask me, did you had a lot of savings? Did you have a lot of money? I was actually in almost 100,000 debt on the day I quit my job.
Ooh.
One of the thing that, like, two things that really gave me that confidence. One, I have, by this time, like, I started investing, like I said, I started investing in 2017, and I lost money on one of the biggest project. So that's one of the reason why I got into debt and some family responsibilities. But I have, like, previous to getting my license 2 years, I was actually very much involved in real estate education. I was learning about neighborhoods, I was learning about properties, because I wanted to be an investor. I never wanted to be salesperson. It
Hmm.
just happened, for destiny got me in. So basically, during 2019, 2018, end of the 2018, I had this project loss and then family responsibility. All of a sudden I got into debt. Then I started to think. It was almost 100,000 debt, and by this time I was investing in small properties. Like, I got 3 or 4 properties by borrowing some money. So I was already like doing a borrowing, but that was like a good debts because all those properties are cash flow.
Yeah. Yeah.
But here, all of a sudden, this was a bad tip because I lost a project and plus family responsibility. So that I didn't know how to cover that, because I was investing for cash flow. I was not doing a flipping. So I was looking all my options. What can I do? How can I get out of this debt sooner? So I was saving, probably by being very frugal, me and my wife both working, we were saving like $2,000 per month. So I
Hmm.
was doing all my math, 100,000 debt, how long it's going to take me to pay this 100,000? And my answer was like another 3 5 years if we are continue to live even more frugally. Or
Yeah.
the other answer was I should find ways to make more money. I should find ways to increase my income because as a IT employee, the job was great. Yeah, honestly, without the job, I would not be able to get my first property, second property. But I cannot jump from 80,000 to 200,000, 300,000. There is no potential, no matter how much I work. Maybe it would take a longer because probably growth is 10% on a higher side yearly bonus. So that made me think, and I thought, because I was already into real estate, I was already enjoying it. I every minute I'm spending in real estate education or real estate the journey, it was actually getting me excited. So I'm like, okay, one, my personality is actually for it. Two, I have this pain. So if I don't do something today, do I regret tomorrow? So my brain was constantly telling, go do it. Worst case scenario, your debt goes from 100,000 to 150,000. Come back and do it again.
I
So I
like
said, okay, let me take a chance for 1 year. Let me give my all in, because my realtor, uh, I at least bought and sold 4 properties with her in 2 years. So I did my rough math, like, okay, she did a fantastic job. That's why I was doing that many transactions with her, and I gave a lot of referrals too. So in 2 years, one client was able to do that because she did a very good job. But if she was a part-time agent, if she didn't know anything, and I worked with a part-time agent before I got my first one. So that agent, I was not comfortable. I moved on to the next one. So do I want to be in that guy's shoes or my mentor shoes? So my answer was, those who are all in, they will get a better opportunity to win in this game. So I said, okay, you know what? It's time for me to just give it a try at least.
Yeah.
That's how, I know it's a long story, but long story short, that's what happened.
No, that's really good to know, Aditya. And as I mentioned, guys, it's very important to learn from those who have lived that journey, who have lived on that path, so that you can gain something from their experience and get into the right direction. And when it comes to making the biggest purchase of your life, real estate, you need to have somebody who can understand your challenges, who can understand the complications during the transaction, and who can steer you in the right direction. So that is very, very important. Aditya, I know there are a lot of people who are putting comments, they are asking questions, but I think today we are running short of time. So I really appreciate your involvement, guys. You can get in touch with Aditya on his social media. He is very active, more active than me. So you can get connected with him on his Instagram channel and another social media. By it comes by his name, Aditya Soma. So Aditya, you get 30 more seconds. Anything you would like to share with our viewers? I'll be very happy.
Don't let your fear stop you. Just dig into it, learn about it.
Yeah,
Only if all your dots connect,
yeah,
then take a chance.
absolutely. And you know what? This is what I always tell the youngsters. If you don't take a chance, you are anyway losing.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
taking a chance is very, very important. And see, this is the right age for you to take a chance, because today you are the youngest and today you are the most experienced in your lifetime. So get it done, and you have an amazing success story in front of you. Aditya, who started his career in this country, came as a student, built up took his chances, built up his career, and today he's managing a fantastic team, SaveMax Win City, almost 30 team members. All of them are flourishing. Not only that, he built up his own empire, he built a good wealth for himself, also helped hundreds of other clients who are not only living in those beautiful houses, but they are thriving on that investment and making fortune for them. So thank you, Aditya, for giving us a lot of knowledge and information about Windsor market. I really appreciate. Guys, stay tuned with us. Next week we are going to bring more information about another market. And stay happy, stay healthy, stay positive, and above all, keep spreading positivity. Thank you very much, and I love you all.
Thank you so much, Raman, and thank you all.